What's up, Facebook? Hey, I hope you guys having an awesome Wednesday. This is Troy McKnight coming at you from Dallas, Texas, guys. I got an awesome guest with me today. This guy right here, when it comes to mindset, he is the man. First of all, if this is your first time actually tuning into one of my Facebook lives, my name is Troy. I've been in the home business space for over 18 years. And I like to come on and I like to bring friends. I bring friends that's doing stuff on a whole nother level. And today I got my friend Tommy on. I've been trying to get Tommy on for the past 90 days. Our schedule finally lined up where we can actually come over here and drop some value. We're going to talk about mindset, but also Tommy's actually going to share his story. I mean, he got a freaking powerful, amazing story. So Tommy, take it away. Introduce yourself, brother.
My people. Listen, the man said 90 days. I've been watching for 90 days. I'm just letting y'all know. It was a time where I thought maybe this is the opportunity for me to go ahead and come into the building. But at the same time, as schedules started to increase, this is our opportunity to go ahead and jump on in. I'm happy to be here. I am Tommy Dural. I focus on the mindset. I focus on health and I focus on purpose. Later on within this particular program, I'll drop my particular my website. If y'all want to reach out to me, let's figure out where we can help each other.
Okay, so Tommy, man, like I said, I've been following you for a while, and before we get started, because some people say this social media thing don't work. They don't think you can build true relationships through social media. Now I don't take away from nothing. I think that we still got to go meet people and stuff like this, right? But I mean, me and you met on Clubhouse, brother.
My brother, we met on Clubhouse. I ended up following you on Instagram. I ended up following you on Facebook. I found out that you stayed right down the street. You heard me? How would that be possible? You got to deal with social media. You want to know what the issue is? A lot of times people still focusing on what Big Mama taught them whenever they was youngins. Big Mama say, don't go out there and talk to no strangers. So guess what? We got some grown individuals that are business owners these days, and they scared to talk to strangers. If they're not scared to talk to strangers, watch this. What they'll do, they'll get in the inbox, and then they'll throw up in the inbox, and then try to get somebody to an opportunity call. How much work is that? There's no strategy in that. You heard me? Help me understand, my brother. Maybe you've been in the game 18 years. You tell me what's going on.
Hey, man, the thing about it is when I first got in this game, I was scared of the phone too. But back then, wasn't no Facebook. This way we could truly build our business, was actually through the phone and emails and, sitting down with people. I always sit back and I think like, man, if we had all this technology back then, man, what me and my wife Lisa would have been some amazing things. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
But we didn't have this.
You and Lisa already doing some amazing things, man. I love watching y'all being on the drop top. You heard, man. I'm like, ooh, you heard me? I don't know where they're going, but I feel like I'm in the back seat with them. You heard?
Yeah. So tell me, like when we talk about this mindset thing, man, because I remember when I first met you and I saw your before and after pictures. I know you work out 3-4 times a freaking day. And what people don't understand is, and I always compare getting in shape to being successful in business because it all works hand in hand. You got to have the right mindset just to get in shape. That take a lot within itself. I know you were sharing this story the other day. You was out walking in the morning by a school, and this lady said, "Hey, I see you still at it." And you was thinking like, man, why you didn't come? Like you can come and join me if you want to. You know what I'm saying? So tell us a little bit about your journey of getting in shape.
Man, Troy, so it was, we're in 2021. You can say, let's say 3 years ago, man. 3 years ago, I was 406 pounds. I was diagnosed as a type 2 diabetic. I had high blood pressure, high cholesterol. It's to the point to where the doc was like, man, so how long you been a diabetic? And I was like, I ain't never been a diabetic. It's my first time hearing something like this. And he was like, oh, well, you're definitely a diabetic, sir. Your A1C was like a 16 or something like that. I believe my sugar levels at the time was like 5 something or whatever the deal is. So being from Louisiana, now I'll go into that particular story later, but being from Louisiana as a young lad, this is what we always thought. This is just something that you get once you get older. So that's what the particular mindset that I had whenever I got the diagnosis. So let's fast forward, man. 3 years ago, let's go into 2020. coming into 2020, I knew that no, I'm gonna have to go back with the story, my brother. Just bear with me. Bear with me.
Oh, you good? Take your time, bro.
Good people, good people. I am from a small country town called Cecilia, Louisiana. Down there, for those of y'all who don't know, is out there by Lafayette, Louisiana. Lafayette and Breaux Bridge. People hear my particular accent and they like, how long have you been here in Texas? I've been in Texas for about 13, 14 years at this point. Well, how come your accent ain't never changed? Well, where's my accent supposed to go? I got aunts that's been out here by 20, 30 years, and you can just imagine what kind of conversations we having in the house at this particular point in time. But anyway, let's fast forward, being from Louisiana. A week before I graduated high school, my mom died. My mom left to go and be with the Lord a week before I graduated. The same day my mom died, my dad gave me away. Okay. I went on ahead and graduated. I went into the Grambling State University. You know what I'm saying? I played ball there, won like 2 black national championships in my time being there. Outside of that, I went on ahead and graduated. Once I graduated, I went back and I went and looked for my father. You know what I'm saying? Because I wanted to have a conversation with him. I found the gentleman at the particular time and we had a conversation. I said, listen, I don't want you to be beating yourself up in your mind because you couldn't take care of me. I went to college. I graduated. I'm good. The man looked back at me and he told me that he had never thought about it like that. Troy, listen, I was broken, man. Here I am at 22 years old, baby. I was broken at that point. Go and give me some.
I bet, man. I bet that just had to break your heart. I couldn't even imagine that. You know what I'm saying? Your father gave you away. You still go through the journey. Most people would have gave up. I mean, you even finished school. You played sports in school. Then just to put closure to that, thinking of him, you wanted to go back and actually just, find him to let him know that you understood why he did what he did. And he told you he never thought about it. Wow.
At this particular point in time, I'm 22 years old. Now, at that particular point, the man told me again for the second time that he didn't think about it. So he left me alone again. Now, Troy, what's so interesting is at my mom's funeral, I'm sitting there trying to be strong for the family. When all in all, you know what I'm saying? After 4.5 years later, I finally grieved over my mother's death. Alone, wow. Nobody around. That's one of the most hurt feelings ever, my brother. You know what I'm saying? If anybody's out there that ever went through a particular loss, at this point, here I am 20 years later. Anybody that's going through a loss, that just been through a loss, maybe in the last 5 years or whatever the situation is, think about it like this. Those individuals got accepted for a job that we're not yet able to we can't qualify for. We're not qualified to apply for right now. You heard me? So here's the deal. Let's say Big Mama died maybe last year during this pandemic. We had the particular 1 year point at this point. A year from now from then was 365 days. How much more time do you need to really get over that particular grieving process? Let's say you use 1,000 days of grieving over Big Mama or your father or whatever the situation is. One thing that we've learned last year, we don't really have time. You know what I'm saying? We don't know when our particular number is going to get called. Troy, it's still to the point to where I'm still trying to figure out all those people that was in ICU last February. The pandemic started in March. Is anybody still alive that was in ICU from back in February of last year? Maybe somebody can find one. You heard me? Because everything is this, or everything is this particular virus and all this other stuff. But anyway, let's get back to the story, my brother. I got diagnosed as a type 2 diabetic 3 years ago. Coming into last year, I knew something was going to happen to me. I knew there was a particular shift. I have an oil field background. I did like 8 years in West Texas. But anyway, coming into last year, I knew that was going to be the same year, or the actual year that I would be making the same age as my mom. So I knew something was going to happen to him. I just didn't know when, or just didn't know what. Well, January 17th, 2020, I ended up having a heart attack, my brother.
Wow.
I was in ICU 3 days. You heard me? On the third day, let me tell you how it all happened. On the second day, you can say, the family was there, everybody's still nervous or whatever the situation is, but I'm feeling like nothing has happened. Now, it was one of my previous co-workers. He sent me my very first intermittent fasting video. Now, when I got the link, I looked at the link, and the link was like an hour and 30 minutes. So you know how it is when we get something that's out of order. Hey, I'm gonna strategically watch this. You know what I'm saying? When I get some time. So yeah. I'm just laying in the bed. Where am I going? You heard me? But anyway, some way, somehow, everybody left me that night, man. To the point to where I just couldn't sleep. And I wasn't uncomfortable. It's just the fact of it was God trying to speak. Hey, listen, I need you to watch this particular clip. And I went on ahead and watched it. Man, this thing blessed me in so many different ways, to the point to where the individual in the story, in the clip, the man lost 200 pounds doing intermittent fasting. And he gave his particular journey from the start to the end, and he's looking amazing. So here comes the third morning. I went on here, I slept amazing. The little nurse lady came in there, you know what I'm saying, at that particular point in time, come and do, you know what I'm saying, a little test or whatever the deal is. You heard, man. Everything was cool. So she did her test, and then she left. Say about 20, 30 minutes ago, 20, 30 minutes afterwards, the doctor, 2-3 doctors walk in. They're like, hey, Mr. Dural, are you lying to us about something? And I'm like, nah, what you mean? Well, the reason being is because the nurse came in here and she gave you the same little test that we gave you since the first day you came here. And some way, somehow, all your numbers are back to normal. So how is it possible that you came in with the numbers that you came in with just 3 days ago? This is the third day, and now all your numbers are totally legit. Man, that was all God, my brother.
Yeah,
God let me know. Here's the deal. Watch this. My blessing was already here in 2020 before this pandemic started. So when everybody was going through this pandemic, what I started doing intermittent fasting. And as soon as the pandemic started, I heard, because it's all about understanding what seed is yours. When you hear something on behalf of a pandemic that's threatening the immune system, what did I stop doing? I immediately stopped eating meat. You heard me? I'm out there exercising. Now, at this point in time, I do 10 miles a day with no problem. I do 5 miles in the morning. I do 5 miles in the afternoon with no issue, no problem whatsoever. From time to time, I'll put out a challenge. Hey, how much it costs for me to get 20 minutes out of you? Can you come out there, walk just 1 mile for me? You heard me? Or better yet, if it's a struggle for you, you can be on the phone with me. You heard me? Let's talk about it. Why you do your 1 mile? Walk away from your house 10 minutes and then turn right back. It's gonna be a mile, guaranteed, no problem, unless you're just walking slow. But anyway, certain people they're not hip to that. They're not hip to that. Oh, you up there walking 10 miles a day? What's wrong with you? Why something gotta be wrong with me? Let me tell you what I'm doing. A lot of people pray to the Father. Okay. A lot of people don't believe, but at the same time, a lot of people pray to the Father. They are in business. But what they don't do is they don't allow God to put sunlight on those particular seeds. So what particular plants grow inside air conditioning in the house? Big Mama never grew no plants inside the house.
No.
Nope. Just think about it like that. It's all about the mindset, how you look at certain things. And as soon as the mindset shifts, everything gonna look totally different. Talk to me, my brother.
Well, guys, and that's what we're talking about. I want you to think about it. Tommy weighed over 400 pounds. He gonna lost a ton of weight. He started doing this, really taking care of himself right in 2020 when everything was going on. He changed his diet. I mean, I did that too. Took meat out of my diet. I actually gonna kind of ease back on it a little bit now. But I went a whole year and a half, over a year and a half without eating no meat myself. And the crazy thing about it, Tommy, what happened to me is Lisa challenged me. It was the beginning of November of 2019. She said, hey, babe, that's not eating no meat until Thanksgiving. But after 2 weeks, I felt so good, I just never went back. even on Thanksgiving. I mean, my body just felt so good. And I don't know if you understand this. When you're doing that fasting, not only that you helping yourself lose weight. I don't know if you ever heard of apoptosis. You kicking your apoptosis in where your body is actually repairing the damaged cells and getting rid of the ones that can't repair. I mean, that's powerful within inside itself. So you really putting yourself up where you can be completely healthy. But it goes back to the mindset. Because I remember just like, saying, hey, man, I'm going to start working out today. And I work out one day. And then the next day I get up and I be like, oh, man, I'm tired. And then you can relate that same thing back to the business. You understand that in order to build your business, you need to reach out to people every day. You need to contact people every day. You need to get on the phone every day, right? And you do it for 1 day or 2 days. And then you be like, oh, man, it ain't working. I do it tomorrow. Then you find yourself, you don't never give yourself the opportunity to create the momentum that you need to create the result. Does that make sense, Tony?
That make a whole lot of sense, my brother. Here's the deal. Let me do a mindset stretch right quick. At this particular point, I'm 38 years old. Okay. I'm 1 year older than my mama is. So I'm feeling like I'm 1 year old at this point. But let me tell you what the issue is with that. I'm a 1983 classic. You heard me? That's how you got to start to think about it. I'm a 1983 classic. For anybody that's around that likes those classic cars, them old school cars and this and that, what does it take to upkeep those particular cars? What type of, what type of maintenance does it take to upkeep those particular type of cars? That's the same way you got to treat the body. If you give the body time to reset, everything gonna make itself reset and regenerate back by its own. You know what I'm saying? Last year I was just playing around. Intermittent fasting is all the experiment. As soon as you tell somebody you intermittent fast, the big man up there, he up there starving himself, y'all. No, that's not what I'm doing. It's so much mental clarity in that piece. You heard me? To the point to where at this particular point in time, I do OMAD. I only eat 1 meal a day. People like, so what you eat for breakfast and lunch? I don't eat nothing. You heard me? I take my vitamins. Vitamins is my nutrition. You heard me? I drink my water, and I don't allow myself to eat if I don't exercise. It got to take the mindset. Well, oh no, I got to have something to eat as soon as I wake up. Well, didn't you just eat yesterday? You think you really just got rid of that food?
Hold on, Tommy, because you're making me laugh. And I know my wife Lisa listening to this, and I know she leaving comments because she tell me my son all the time, all we need to eat is once a day. My son is a D1 athlete. My son run track, and he work out like crazy. And there's no way this kid eat a lot. But that's her favorite line. If I say, hey, babe, what we eat tonight? She say, hey, didn't we already eat today?
That's right. It's real. It's real. My brother, listen. Think about it like this. For those that still eat meat, do you think that if you eat a meat, whatever you decide to eat the previous night, when you wake up the next morning, what would make you think that food is still not in there? You know what I'm saying? You didn't use the bathroom at all. You heard me? You maybe, go and drain the lizard or whatever the situation is, but that food is still in there. It takes time before that food actually moves around. You know what I'm saying? That's just like, for instance, watch this. How you feel about that marketing strategy about lose 5 pounds in 5 days?
Hey, I think it's a great idea.
Watch this. What happens on the 6th day? The 6th day is usually when the vacation starts. So that means everything happened in 5 days that you just took out, you're going to put it right back in. But anyway, check this out. I watch y'all in the drop top. How often do y'all get an oil change every week in the drop top?
Not every week.
Huh. So that means you're not supposed to be detoxing every day. That ain't nothing but a strategy, baby. You heard me? Anybody that's detoxing every day, you're taking away the nutrition of the food that you actually eating. That's just like, for instance, people that are meat eaters, still meat eaters. Here's the deal. They're saying that this thing is in the air. So if it's in the air and it can be contracted in the air, where are these animals that you've been eating? Aren't they on the outside in the air? You heard me? Hey, it's all about the mindset. You got to think about how to think about what you're thinking about. The stuff that you're overlooking is the stuff that's I need y'all to go ahead and pray for such and such and X, Y, Z and this and that. Well, that's the reason. You overlooking certain things. That's the reason why things are being like it is. My brother, I can go everywhere, baby. How long we got left on this thing, man?
You know what, Tommy? We not gonna, man. I mean, we gonna have a part 2 to this, but we gotta drop some nuggets. Let's give them some value, guys. One thing that Tommy has been helping me with LinkedIn. Him and his friend Sean. I mean, they are freaking beasts on LinkedIn. And if you're not following Tommy on Facebook, you most definitely want to follow him. If you're not following him on LinkedIn, you want to follow him on LinkedIn. Him and his friend Sean go live on LinkedIn every Monday through Friday at 10 Central.
Monday through Saturday,
10 a.m. Central Standard Time, right? 10 a.m. Yeah, they're giving tips and ideas on how to build your audience up on LinkedIn. So Tommy, if somebody like brand new to LinkedIn and they trying to get some engagement and they actually trying to build a LinkedIn profile, could you give them a few tips on how would they go about doing that?
Here's the deal. If you brand new on LinkedIn, don't come into LinkedIn trying to treat LinkedIn like Facebook and Instagram. That's definitely not what you want to do. That's not the mindset you got to have whenever you come into that, because here's the reason why. Think about it. These are actual companies that are in actual competition against each other. So why would they have everything the same? There's a certain reason why on Instagram, you can't use like StreamYard and this and that to go live on Instagram at the same time, but you can do it on Facebook and you can do it on LinkedIn. But here's the deal. If you're coming over to LinkedIn, you got to have the right particular mindset, because if you don't have the right particular mindset, you just won't be able to see certain things in certain ways on how it's supposed to happen. Now, the first thing is first. You have to optimize your profile. You know what I'm saying? See, like with Clubhouse, when you got on Clubhouse, it automatically brought everybody up in your contact list. You started clicking, letting everybody just follow. That's the reason why your hallway looks the way that it looks. That's the reason why you don't have no interest in the rooms that look, is because of the people that you connected to. What they excited about is what that's going to show you, so that way you can get excited about. But when it comes towards the LinkedIn piece, your profile has to be optimized. If you have an optimized profile, he who has ears, let them hear. If you have an optimized profile, that's going to set you apart of 97% of individuals that's on LinkedIn. If you post on LinkedIn, that's setting you apart of 97% of the individuals that's on LinkedIn. And what's the deal is LinkedIn got about 20 million, 30 million people that's on there. You heard me? Do you want to be set apart? Do you have what it takes to be set apart? Or basically is this, are you the type of entrepreneur that you're saying that you're an entrepreneur, but at the same time, you like to sit in the back of the crowd? You got pictures on your profile, you always in the back of the picture. Well, think about it like this. What happens in the jungle whenever you're in the back of the crowd, whenever it comes towards the lion and the gazelle? Y'all do the math on that.
But guys, and I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna tune into the LinkedIn, because Tommy has been helping me. I mean, at first I was posting on LinkedIn, and sometimes my engagement is still kind of low because I'm still learning. Like, he just gave me some tips before this. But I remember I was posting, I was getting like maybe 20 views, maybe 10 views. And Tommy, just from some tips, he gave me a tip one day. And from one tip one day, guys, I got over 1,300 views and about 67 comments. So what he's telling you, it truly actually worked. That's why when if you're looking at this, you most definitely want to reach out to Tommy for, DM or shoot him a message. He don't mind sharing some information with you. And if you're looking for a business, let's say that maybe you used to be in the home business profession, maybe you're looking to get in the home business profession, you most definitely want to reach out to Tommy. You know what I'm saying? Or myself. We might have something that can fit you that, both of us are in the health and wellness industry, but completely different companies, but we understand the importance of health. I always say, Tommy, just like you giving them tips on the LinkedIn, I tell a story. I had a friend of mine, he passed away years ago, right? And he was sick. He was really sick. And I went to him to talk to him about, maybe trying some product and stuff that maybe help him, right? And this gentleman got to talking about, man, he wanted to buy him a car. He talking about some type of car he wanted to buy. And I'm thinking like, man, people are so messed up. They don't understand their health is their wealth. If you healthy, you can make as much money as possible, man. If you're not healthy, if you're just going through here chasing this money, it's got to be equal. And you can't chase the money. You got to attract the money, but you got to work hard as hell to be in shape. and take care of yourself. Just like Tommy said. Tommy said he's a 1980, what, Sean? 82?
1983, baby.
83 classic. I'm a 69 classic, bro. So I got you
saying?
by a long way. You see what I'm saying? So you got to take care of yourself. That's the bottom line. So with that, guys, we're gonna wrap this up, man. I really appreciate you, Sean. Hey, if you can give somebody one tip, and we're gonna tie this together with like, you know, getting focused to build a business and also getting focused to actually get in shape. What tip would you give them on that on mindset?
Here's the deal. Those of y'all that don't know me, hey, get to know me. You heard me? Here's the deal. One tip, and I'll leave it alone. Anybody that comes across this live, it can be tonight, it can be tomorrow, it can be next month, it can be next year, whatever the situation is. My people, listen, here's my heart on behalf of what I'm about to say. I love you, but you need to stop getting that. You need to stop getting in your own way. You heard me? Once you stop getting in your own way, everything gonna open up, baby. It's just like, for instance, I know you asked for just one thing, but check this out, Troy. If I gave you $1 million, would you accept it?
Absolutely.
Okay. If I gave you $1 million but said that you can't wake up, would you accept it?
Nope.
If I gave you $10 million, would you accept it? And knowing that you can't wake up. Okay. So that means every particular morning that you get to see, think of it as this. You got $1 million that's out there. You know what I'm saying? And every time you wake up, that means you're getting closer and closer and closer to getting it. A lot of times I hold conversations with entrepreneurs. When you talk about $1 million, they don't have that type of vision. You heard me? They don't have that type of vision. They say that an eagle can have the opportunity to soar 3 to 4 miles above the ground. If an eagle sees another bird at that height, it can only be another eagle. They got a lot of entrepreneurs that's out there that like to chill with these pigeons and the ducks. You heard me? They only fly whenever they have to fly. Oh, Troy going live. Let me go ahead and jump on the live. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Let me come and feel good. But what happens when the cameras turn off, baby? You heard me? You fall back into that default mindset as soon as the cameras turn off. Hey, the real education starts whenever the cameras turn off. If you're an entrepreneur and you ain't reading nothing, hey, leaders read. If you're not reading, that means somebody else leading. You heard me? Hey, peace and many blessings to y'all. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop my information within the chat. Reach out to me. Let's see how we can help each other, but have the right mindset. If you don't even have it, I'm going to give it to you. You heard me?
Yeah, you know, I always tell people, Tony, we're going to wrap it up. Man, you can't hang around me for a long period of time and don't think you're unstoppable. And I mean, that's for real. You hang around me, the mindset going to change. Or if the mindset going to change, you're going to be like, man, you know what? That Troy is freaking crazy. I can't run with him. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, man, I really appreciate you. Guys, if you're not connected with Tommy, make sure you get connected with him. Like I said, if you're in the industry, you want to learn how to actually take your LinkedIn to a whole nother level, you most definitely want to reach out to him. If you're not in the industry, you're looking to actually team up with a leader, somebody to help you build a 6 or 7 figure income from the comfort of your home, you most definitely want to hook up with Tommy. And maybe if Tommy ain't the fit for you, you want to hook up to me. Just shoot either one of us a message, and let's make it happen. But most definitely get with him on that LinkedIn. With that, guys, God bless. You guys have an awesome Wednesday afternoon. Let me see.